Hey guys, tonight we're going to embark on a truly unique journey, one that will transport you back in time to the heart of ancient Mesopotamia. Imagine, if you will, stepping out of your cozy, climate-controlled room, perhaps here in California, USA, where the air might be humid but at least you have a fan, and suddenly finding yourself under a sun that feels less like a gentle lamp and more like a furious, celestial forge. You're standing on baked earth, the kind that cracks underfoot, and the air shimmers above the horizon, a relentless, shimmering curtain of heat. This isn't just warm. This is the kind of heat that makes you question every life choice that led you to this moment. You probably won't survive a Mesopotamian summer day without some serious ancient ingenuity, because let me tell you, there are no ice cream trucks here, and your modern air conditioner would simply weep. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And as always, let me know where you're listening from and what time it is for you right now. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You stand at the edge of a sprawling, sun-baked plain, the vast, flat expanse stretching out before you. The sky above is an unrelenting, brilliant blue, utterly devoid of clouds, as if the very heavens have decided to turn up the heat dial to 11 and snap off the knob. The sun beats down with an intensity that feels almost physical, pressing against your skin, making you feel as though you're slowly being baked from the outside in. Sweat beads instantly on your brow, trickling down your temples before you even have a chance to wipe it away. This is ancient Mesopotamia, the land between the rivers, and it is, without a doubt, scorching. The air itself feels thick, dry, and heavy, carrying the faint, earthy scent of sun-baked mud and distant dust. There's no gentle breeze to offer respite, just a still, oppressive warmth that seems to cling to every surface. You squint, trying to make out the distant outlines of a city, a cluster of low-slung buildings that seem to shimmer and waver in the heat haze. This is where people lived, where civilizations thrived, where daily life unfolded under this relentless sun. How did they manage? How did they find comfort, or even just a moment of calm, in such an unforgiving environment? That, my friends, is the cozy mystery we're here to unravel tonight. As you take your first tentative steps, the ground beneath your sandals feels hot, radiating the day's accumulated warmth. You can almost hear the silent sizzle of the earth. The silence is profound, broken only by the distant, almost imperceptible hum of insects, or perhaps the faint, dry rustle of a tumbleweed-like plant skittering across the plain. It's a landscape that demands respect, a place where survival itself is a testament to human ingenuity. Forget your SPF 50, out here, you'll need SPF mud brick. You begin to trudge towards the distant city, a collection of structures that seem to rise organically from the earth itself. They are not the grand, gleaming marble edifices of Rome, nor the towering stone pyramids of Egypt. No, these buildings are made of something far more humble, yet infinitely more practical for this climate. Mud brick. Unfired, sun-dried mud brick, stacked layer upon layer, forming thick, solid walls. This widespread use of mud brick as the primary building material is a mainstream historical fact, absolutely crucial to understanding how Mesopotamians coped with the heat. It wasn't just cheap and readily available, it was an excellent insulator, slowly absorbing the day's heat and then radiating it back out during the cooler nights, creating a more stable indoor temperature. As you get closer, you notice the city walls, also made of massive mud bricks, towering over you, offering a promise of shade, however slight. The sheer scale of these walls, built by hand, brick by brick, is awe-inspiring. You can almost feel the collective effort, the sweat and toil that went into creating this haven in the desert. It's a testament to their resilience, their determination to carve out a comfortable existence in a harsh land. One quirky tidbit you might observe as you approach the city gates is the presence of small, shallow depressions or channels carved into the ground just outside the walls. These weren't for drainage. They were sometimes filled with water, allowing for a subtle evaporative cooling effect as the hot, dry air passed over them before entering the city. Imagine a primitive, city-sized swamp cooler, designed to take the edge off that relentless sun. It's a small detail easily overlooked, but it speaks volumes about their meticulous approach to comfort. You might even feel a tiny, almost imperceptible drop in temperature as you pass over one, a fleeting moment of relief. Historians still argue whether the precise layout of Mesopotamian cities, with their often irregular and winding streets, was primarily for defensive purposes or if it was also a deliberate design choice to maximize shade and minimize direct sun exposure. While defense was undoubtedly a factor, the way the buildings are clustered, creating narrow, shadowed passages, certainly suggests an awareness of passive cooling techniques. Was it strategic urban planning for comfort, or just organic growth that happened to be effective? It's a fascinating debate, isn't it? You finally reach the city gates, massive wooden structures reinforced with bronze, and step inside. The immediate sensation is one of profound relief. The direct glare of the sun is gone, replaced by the deep, cool shade cast by the towering mud brick buildings. The air, while still warm, feels noticeably less oppressive, a subtle shift that makes you sigh with contentment. You've entered a different world, a world where ingenuity triumphs over the elements. The sounds of the city are a gentle murmur, a blend of distant voices, the soft bleating of goats, and the rhythmic thud of a potter's wheel. It's a far cry from the bustling, noisy streets of Rome. Here, life seems to move at a slower, more deliberate pace, perhaps a necessity born of the heat. You notice the narrow, winding streets, barely wide enough for a single donkey cart, creating deep canyons of shade that offer respite from the sun. These aren't grand avenues. They are practical pathways, designed for survival and comfort. As you walk deeper into the city, you feel the coolness radiating from the thick mud brick walls. They are like giant, ancient sponges, slowly absorbing the heat during the day and then releasing it gradually during the cooler nights. This thermal mass effect is a key principle of passive cooling, and the Mesopotamians mastered it thousands of years ago. Your modern brick house might try to do something similar, but it's got nothing on these ancient mud brick fortresses of cool. You pass by a small market stall, where a vendor sits patiently in the shade, fanning himself with a palm frond. He offers dried fish, dates, and small clay jars of water. The pace is unhurried, a testament to the wisdom of slowing down when the sun is at its peak. You might even see a dog, stretched out lazily in a patch of shade, barely stirring as you pass. Even the animals seem to understand the importance of conserving energy in this climate. The air, though still dry, feels cleaner, less dusty than the open plain. You notice the subtle scent of cooking fires, of spices, and of the damp earth from where water has been spilled. It's a sensory tapestry that speaks of life, of resilience, and of the quiet determination to make a home in a challenging land. You are no longer just observing, you are beginning to feel the rhythm of this ancient world, a rhythm dictated by the sun and the ingenious ways people found to escape its relentless embrace. Having navigated the sun-drenched plains and stepped through the shaded city gates, you now find yourself standing before a typical Mesopotamian home. It's not a grand palace, but a modest dwelling, one of many clustered together, forming those narrow, winding streets. The first thing that strikes you, even before you step inside, is the sheer solidity of the structure. These aren't flimsy tents or hastily erected shelters. No, these are fortresses against the sun, built with a material that is as ancient as the rivers themselves, mud brick. You reach out a hand and touch the exterior wall. It feels surprisingly cool, almost damp, despite the scorching sun beating down on it. The surface is rough, earthy, a testament to its humble origins. This isn't fired clay, like the bricks you might see in modern construction in Bogra, Bangladesh, or anywhere else for that matter. These are sun-dried bricks, made from the very earth beneath your feet, mixed with straw and water, then left to bake hard under that relentless Mesopotamian sun. This widespread use of unfired mud brick as the primary building material for its thermal properties is a mainstream historical fact, a cornerstone of ancient Mesopotamian architecture. It was cheap, readily available, and, crucially, incredibly effective at keeping the heat out. As you push open a heavy wooden door, perhaps adorned with a simple bronze handle, You step from the bright, oppressive glare of the street into a world of immediate, profound relief. The air inside is noticeably cooler, a gentle embrace after the sun's assault. It's dim, too, the light softened and diffused, creating a tranquil, almost cave-like atmosphere. The silence is deeper here, broken only by the faint rustle of your own clothing and the distant, muffled sounds of the city outside. It's like stepping into a giant, ancient thermos, designed to keep the cool in and the heat out. The walls around you are incredibly thick, often several feet deep, providing a formidable barrier against the external temperatures. These aren't just walls. They are thermal masses, slowly absorbing the sun's heat throughout the long, hot day. But here's the clever part. Because they are so thick and dense, they absorb the heat at a snail's pace. By the time the heat has fully penetrated the wall, the sun has already set, and the cooler night air begins to draw that stored heat back out. This means that during the day, the interior remains remarkably cool, and during the night, it stays comfortably warm. It's a natural, passive air conditioning system, thousands of years in the making. Your modern insulation has nothing on this ancient, earthy wisdom. You run your hand along the interior wall. It feels smooth, perhaps plastered with a thin layer of finer mud or gypsum, but still radiating that deep, earthy coolness. The scent of the room is subtle, a mix of dry earth, perhaps a hint of stored grains, and the faint, clean smell of cool air. It's a comforting aroma, one that speaks of stability and shelter. You might even notice a few tiny cracks in the plaster, a reminder that these homes required constant maintenance, a bit like perpetually patching up a very large, very old mud pie. Imagine having to replaster your house every year just to keep it from melting. Sounds like a fun weekend project, doesn't it? The floor beneath your feet is also cool, often made of packed earth or simple mud tiles, further contributing to the overall coolness of the interior. There are no elaborate carpets or heavy furnishings to trap heat. Instead, you see simple woven mats, perhaps a few low wooden stools and clay storage jars. Everything is designed for practicality and comfort in this climate. The simplicity is part of its charm, a testament to living in harmony with the environment rather than constantly battling it. One quirky tidbit about these mud bricks is that the Mesopotamians often added straw, reeds, or even animal dung to the clay mixture. This wasn't just for binding the bricks together and preventing cracking. It also added a subtle insulating quality, creating tiny air pockets within the brick that further slowed heat transfer. So, your cozy ancient home might have been literally held together by straw and, well, let's just say organic binders. It's a bit like finding out your favorite artisanal bread has a secret ingredient you never expected. Historians still argue whether the Mesopotamians had a sophisticated, scientific understanding of thermal mass and insulation properties, or if their building techniques were primarily developed through generations of empirical observation and trial and error. Did they conduct experiments with different mud mixes and wall thicknesses? Or did they simply notice that thicker walls and certain additives kept homes cooler? While their results were undeniably effective, the precise level of theoretical knowledge behind their methods remains an open scholarly debate. Was it ancient physics, or just really good common sense? You notice the strategic placement of openings. Windows are typically small and high up, minimizing direct sunlight penetration while still allowing for some light and ventilation. There are no grand, sweeping windows here that would invite the sun's wrath. Instead, light filters in gently, creating soft pools of illumination on the floor. It's a dim, but not dark, space, one that encourages quiet contemplation and rest during the hottest parts of the day. The silence inside is profound, a stark contrast to the bustling streets. You might hear the soft buzz of a fly or the distant bleating of a goat, but otherwise, it's a sanctuary of quiet. This stillness is not just a byproduct of the thick walls, it's an essential part of the cooling strategy. By minimizing external noise, the interior feels even more serene, more conducive to relaxation and escape from the oppressive heat. It's a place where you can truly hear yourself think, or more likely, hear yourself slowly drift off to sleep. As you settle onto a cool mat, feeling the coolness radiating from the floor and walls, You begin to understand the genius of these mud brick marvels. They are not just buildings, they are living, breathing entities, designed to breathe with the desert, to absorb its extremes and offer a gentle, consistent refuge. You feel the tension in your shoulders begin to ease, your breathing deepen, and a profound sense of calm settle over you. The relentless sun outside seems a distant memory, a problem for another time. For now, you are safe, cool, and utterly at peace within these ancient, earthy walls. Having absorbed the deep, earthy coolness of the mud brick interior, you now find yourself drawn towards the heart of the Mesopotamian home, its central courtyard. You step through a simple, unadorned doorway, and the immediate sensation is one of openness, a sudden release from the enclosed, dim rooms. Above you, the sky is a brilliant, unyielding blue, but here, within the courtyard, the direct glare of the sun is largely absent, replaced by a profound, enveloping shade. The courtyard is typically a rectangular or square space, open to the sky, but surrounded on all four sides by the high, thick walls of the house. These walls, remember, are those same mud brick marvels that kept the interior cool. Here, they serve a dual purpose. Not only do they insulate the surrounding rooms, but their sheer height casts deep, consistent shadows across the courtyard floor for much of the day. It's like a giant, natural umbrella, meticulously designed to block out the sun's most aggressive rays. You might even feel a subtle, almost imperceptible breeze stirring here, a gentle current of air drawn in by the temperature difference between the shaded courtyard and the hotter air above. This central courtyard design is a mainstream historical fact, a defining feature of Mesopotamian domestic architecture. It wasn't just an aesthetic choice, it was a highly functional one, crucial for climate control, privacy, and daily life. All the main rooms of the house would open directly onto this central space, making it the hub of activity. Imagine your living room, kitchen, and backyard all rolled into one, but with no roof and walls that keep you from melting. It's a brilliant solution for a hot climate, isn't it? As you stand in the courtyard, you notice the floor beneath your feet. It might be packed earth, or perhaps paved with simple, cool mud tiles. In some wealthier homes, you might even see a small, shallow pool or a well in the center, its water glistening in the diffused light. The presence of water, even a small amount, contributes to the cooling effect through evaporation, subtly lowering the ambient temperature of the courtyard. You might hear the gentle trickle of water, a soothing sound that enhances the sense of tranquility. It's a bit like having a tiny, ancient humidifier, but instead of adding moisture to dry air, it's adding coolness to hot air. The atmosphere here is one of quiet activity. You might see a woman, perhaps in a simple indigo tunic, grinding grain with a stone quern in a shaded corner, the rhythmic sound a soft counterpoint to the stillness. Children might be playing quietly with clay toys on the cool floor, their laughter hushed, as if instinctively respecting the courtyard's serene nature. A man might be repairing a wooden tool, his movements slow and deliberate, conserving energy in the heat. It's a place where daily chores unfold at a relaxed pace, dictated by the sun's relentless schedule. One quirky tidbit about these courtyards is that they were often the primary source of light and ventilation for the entire house. Because Mesopotamian homes typically had few, if any, exterior windows, to keep out heat and for privacy, the open courtyard acted as a giant light well, funneling diffused sunlight into the surrounding rooms. It also created a natural chimney effect, drawing hot air up and out, while cooler air from the shaded lower levels or from wind catchers, which we'll get to later, was pulled in. So, your ancient Mesopotamian home was essentially a giant, passive, solar-powered ventilation system. Who needs electric fans when you have clever architecture? You might notice the subtle scent of cooking fires, perhaps from a small, portable brazier in one corner, mingling with the earthy smell of damp clay and the faint aroma of herbs drying in the shade. It's a comforting blend of domesticity and nature, a sensory tapestry that speaks of life lived in harmony with the elements. You might even spot a small, terracotta pot filled with fragrant herbs, placed strategically to release their scent into the air, a natural air freshener. Historians still argue whether the primary function of the central courtyard was for privacy and security, or if its role in passive cooling was the dominant design driver. While it certainly offered a secluded space away from the public gaze, the consistent emphasis on its thermal benefits in ancient texts and archaeological findings suggests that keeping cool was a paramount concern. Was it a fortress for the family, or a giant refrigerator? The truth, as always, probably lies in a blend of both, adapting to the specific needs of the household. As you sit on a low wooden stool, feeling the coolness radiating from the courtyard floor, you observe the interplay of light and shadow. The sun, though high, only touches small patches of the courtyard at any given time, creating shifting patterns that dance across the walls and floor. The deep shade is a constant, a reliable refuge from the oppressive heat outside. You feel the tension in your shoulders completely dissipate, replaced by a profound sense of calm. You might see a family pet, perhaps a lean, sandy-colored dog, curled up in the coolest patch of shade, utterly oblivious to the world, lost in a heat-induced slumber. Even the animals understand the wisdom of the courtyard. It's a place where life slows down, where the relentless pace of the outside world is forgotten, replaced by a gentle rhythm of rest and quiet activity. The sounds are muted, the voices hushed, as if everyone instinctively lowers their tone in deference to the courtyard's tranquil atmosphere. The distant bleating of goats or the braying of a donkey from the street outside seems far away, softened by the thick mud brick walls. It's a sanctuary of quiet, a place where you can truly hear the subtle sounds of domestic life, the rustle of fabric, the soft clink of pottery, the gentle breathing of those around you. The courtyard is more than just a space, it's a way of life. It dictates the rhythm of the day, encouraging rest during the hottest hours and providing a comfortable, shaded environment for daily activities. It's a testament to the Mesopotamians' deep understanding of their environment and their ingenious ability to adapt their architecture to create comfortable, livable spaces, even in the most challenging climates. You feel a sense of profound peace settling over you, a quiet contentment that comes from being in a space so perfectly attuned to its surroundings. Having lingered in the cool embrace of the central courtyard, you now decide to venture back out, not into the scorching plain, but into the labyrinthine network of the city streets. As you step out of the courtyard's private sanctuary, you immediately notice the profound difference from the wide, sun-drenched avenues you might be used to in your own city, whether it's Bogra or anywhere else. Here, the streets are not grand, open thoroughfares designed for parades or rapid transit. No, these are narrow, winding passages, often barely wide enough for two people to pass comfortably, and certainly not for a modern car. The buildings on either side rise high, their thick mud brick walls creating deep, almost canyon-like channels. The sun, even at its peak, struggles to penetrate these shadowed corridors. For much of the day, these streets are bathed in a cool, consistent shade, a welcome relief from the relentless glare above. It's like walking through a perpetual twilight, a deliberate design choice that speaks volumes about the Mesopotamians' understanding of their environment. You might even find yourself instinctively leaning against a cool mud brick wall as you pass, just to absorb that refreshing coolness. This deliberate design of narrow, winding streets to maximize shade is a mainstream historical fact, a key passive cooling strategy employed in ancient Mesopotamian urban planning. It wasn't just an accidental byproduct of organic growth. It was a conscious effort to create a more livable environment in an intensely hot climate. By minimizing direct sun exposure on the ground and lower walls, they effectively reduced the amount of heat absorbed by the city itself, keeping the ambient temperature lower. Imagine if your city planners designed every street to be a permanent shade tunnel. Sounds pretty good right about now, doesn't it? As you wander deeper into this shaded maze, the sounds of the city are different here too. The distant bleating of goats and the rhythmic thud of the potter's wheel from the courtyards are muffled, softened by the thick walls. Instead, you hear the gentle scuff of sandals on packed earth, the quiet murmur of conversations from unseen doorways, and perhaps the soft rustle of a palm frond being used as a fan. It's a symphony of quiet activity, a testament to a pace of life dictated by the sun's relentless schedule. You pass by a small alcove, a natural indentation in the mud brick wall, where an elderly man sits on a low wooden stool, meticulously mending a fishing net. He works slowly, his movements deliberate, conserving energy in the pervasive warmth. He offers a slight nod as you pass, a silent acknowledgement of shared existence in this shaded world. The air here feels surprisingly still, yet not stagnant, a testament to the subtle air currents that still manage to find their way through these narrow passages. One quirky tidbit you might observe is the occasional presence of small, shallow water channels running along the side of some of these narrow streets. These weren't for sewage. They were sometimes fed by wells or water skins, allowing a small amount of water to evaporate, adding a subtle evaporative cooling effect to the immediate vicinity. Imagine a tiny, ancient street-side humidifier designed to take the edge off the dry heat. You might even feel a fleeting moment of coolness as you pass over one, a subtle whisper of relief. It's a small detail easily missed, but it speaks volumes about their meticulous approach to comfort. The visual landscape of these streets is surprisingly uniform, yet subtly varied. The mud brick walls, in shades of earthy brown and ochre, rise up on either side, occasionally broken by a simple wooden door or a small, high window. There are no grand facades or elaborate decorations here. Practicality and function reign supreme. Yet, the subtle textures of the sun-dried bricks, the occasional patch of plaster, and the deep shadows create a beauty of their own, a beauty born of necessity and adaptation. Historians still argue whether the irregular, organic layout of Mesopotamian cities, with their winding, narrow streets, was primarily a result of unplanned, incremental growth, or if it was a conscious, sophisticated urban planning strategy for defense and climate control. While the defensive benefits of a confusing, easily defensible street plan are clear, the consistent thermal advantages offered by such a layout suggest a deeper understanding of environmental design. Was it accidental genius or deliberate brilliance? The debate continues, but the comfort you feel is undeniable. You notice how the light changes as you move. In some sections, the shade is absolute, a deep, cool gloom. In others, a sliver of sunlight might pierce through a gap between buildings, creating a sharp, bright line on the dusty ground, a stark reminder of the intensity of the sun above. These fleeting moments of direct light only serve to emphasize the profound relief offered by the shade. It's a constant interplay of light and shadow, a dance dictated by the sun's journey across the sky. As you continue your stroll, you might pass by a small, open doorway, offering a glimpse into a private courtyard, perhaps with a small tree or a few potted plants. These glimpses into domestic life are fleeting, but they reinforce the idea that these homes, despite their humble exteriors, are sanctuaries of comfort and community. You might even hear the gentle clinking of pottery or the soft murmur of a family conversation from within, sounds that speak of peace and domesticity. The air, though still warm, feels surprisingly fresh in these shaded passages. The thick walls, having absorbed the day's heat, are now slowly radiating it back out, but the constant movement of air, however subtle, prevents stagnation. It's a natural ventilation system, working silently and efficiently, ensuring that the air you breathe is always as cool and clean as possible. It's a far cry from the stuffy, unventilated spaces you might encounter in other ancient cities. You might even see a child, perhaps no older than 5, confidently navigating the winding streets, their small feet bare on the cool earth. They know these streets intimately, every turn, every shaded alcove, every cool spot. It's a testament to how deeply ingrained these cooling strategies were in daily life, passed down through generations, an intuitive understanding of how to live in harmony with the harsh climate. They probably know the coolest shortcuts better than any GPS. The overall impression of these narrow, shaded streets is one of quiet resilience. They are not grand or imposing, but they are incredibly effective. They are a testament to the Mesopotamians' ability to adapt, to innovate, and to create comfortable, livable spaces in one of the world's most challenging environments. You feel a sense of profound calm settling over you, a quiet appreciation for the simple yet profound wisdom embedded in the very fabric of this ancient city. You are no longer just walking, You are experiencing a masterclass in passive cooling, one step at a time. Having wandered through the cool, shaded canyons of the narrow Mesopotamian streets, you now find yourself looking up, your gaze drawn to the rooftops of the city. Here, rising above the flat, mud-brick expanse, you notice peculiar, chimney-like structures, often square or rectangular, with openings at the top. These are wind catchers, or malkaf as they are known in some later traditions, and they are another ingenious piece of ancient Mesopotamian climate control. They stand like silent sentinels, patiently waiting to capture the slightest whisper of a breeze and funnel it into the homes below. You observe one particularly well-preserved wind catcher on a nearby rooftop. It's a simple structure, built of the same sun-dried mud brick as the rest of the house, but its design is remarkably sophisticated. The opening at the top faces the prevailing wind direction, acting like a giant scoop, capturing even the faintest air currents that might be moving above the stagnant heat of the streets. This design, specifically engineered to capture and direct wind, is a mainstream historical fact, a testament to Mesopotamian ingenuity in harnessing natural forces for comfort. It's like having a giant, ancient air intake vent, but instead of pulling in air for an engine, it's pulling in cool air for your living room. As you watch, you might feel a subtle shift in the air around the base of the wind catcher. Even if there's no discernible breeze at street level, the higher air currents are being drawn down. The captured air then travels down a vertical shaft, often built into the wall, and is released into the rooms below. Because the air inside the house is typically warmer and rises, it creates a natural convection current, pulling the cooler, denser air from the wind catcher downwards. It's a passive ventilation system, working silently and efficiently, without a single moving part or a watt of electricity. Your modern HVAC system might be powerful, but it certainly isn't this elegant in its simplicity. You imagine stepping inside a room directly beneath one of these wind catchers. The air would feel noticeably cooler, a gentle, continuous flow that stirs the otherwise still air. It's not a strong gust, but a subtle, refreshing current that provides constant relief from the oppressive heat. You might even feel a slight chill, a welcome sensation on your sun-warmed skin. It's a whisper of coolness, a constant reminder that even in the hottest climates, comfort can be found through clever design. One quirky tidbit about wind catchers is that some designs incorporated a small, shallow pool of water at the base of the shaft inside the house. As the air from the wind catcher passed over this water, it would pick up moisture, creating an evaporative cooling effect, similar to a modern swamp cooler. This would not only cool the air further but also add a touch of humidity, making the dry Mesopotamian air feel more comfortable. Imagine a natural air conditioner that also humidifies, all powered by the wind and a bit of water. It's a truly ingenious combination, isn't it? You might even hear the faint, soothing sound of trickling water from such a feature, adding to the room's tranquility. You notice that not every house has a wind catcher, suggesting they might have been a feature of wealthier homes, or perhaps those built in particularly exposed locations. Their construction would have required additional skill and resources, making them a mark of status as well as comfort. It's a bit like having a fancy, custom-built ventilation system today, a luxury, but a very practical one in this climate. Historians still argue whether the primary purpose of wind catchers was solely for cooling, or if they also served as a means of ventilation, drawing out stale air and smoke from indoor cooking fires. While their cooling function is undeniable, the constant airflow they provided would have also significantly improved indoor air quality, making homes healthier and more comfortable. Was it an air conditioner or an exhaust fan? The truth is likely both, a multifunctional architectural element that addressed several environmental challenges at once. As you observe the wind catcher, you notice how it blends seamlessly with the rest of the mud brick architecture. It's not an intrusive addition, but an integral part of the building's design, rising organically from the rooftop. The sun, though still high, seems less threatening when you know that these silent structures are constantly working to bring coolness indoors. It's a testament to the Mesopotamians' deep respect for their environment and their ability to work with nature rather than against it. You might see a small bird perched on the edge of a wind catcher, enjoying the subtle breeze, perhaps even nesting within its sheltered confines. It's a small detail, but it reinforces the idea that these structures were not just for human comfort, but were integrated into the natural ecosystem of the city. Even the birds knew where to find the coolest spot. The feeling of the windcatcher's whisper is subtle, almost imperceptible, but profoundly effective. It's not the roaring blast of a modern air conditioner, but a gentle, continuous flow that creates a constant sense of freshness. It's a reminder that sometimes the most powerful solutions are the quietest ones, working tirelessly in the background, making life more bearable. You feel a sense of quiet admiration for the ancient minds that conceived of such elegant solutions to the challenges of their environment. As you continue your journey through the city, you'll carry with you the image of these silent sentinels, standing tall against the relentless sun, constantly drawing down the cool breath of the sky. They are a symbol of Mesopotamian ingenuity, a testament to their ability to create comfort and calm in a world of extreme heat. You feel a profound sense of peace, knowing that even in the harshest climates, human cleverness can find a way to make life not just survivable, but surprisingly cozy. Having felt the subtle whisper of the windcatchers, drawing down cool air from above, you now find yourself drawn deeper into the heart of a Mesopotamian home, where another ingenious cooling strategy awaits. You step into a larger, perhaps more central, room, and immediately, your eyes are drawn to a feature that promises profound relief: a small, indoor pool or basin, filled with clear, glistening water. The air here feels noticeably cooler, imbued with a gentle, refreshing humidity that is a welcome change from the dry heat outside. This presence of indoor pools or water features within Mesopotamian homes, particularly in wealthier dwellings, is a mainstream historical fact. These weren't just for decoration. They served a crucial function in passive cooling through evaporation. As the hot, dry air of the room passed over the surface of the water, some of the water would evaporate, absorbing heat from the air in the process. This natural phenomenon, known as evaporative cooling, effectively lowered the ambient temperature of the room, creating a much more comfortable environment. It's like having a natural, silent air conditioner, powered by nothing but water and the laws of physics. Your modern humidifier might add moisture, but this ancient method adds coolness too. You approach the edge of the pool, it's water clear and still, reflecting the soft, diffused light filtering in from high windows or the central courtyard. You dip your hand into the water, and it feels cool, almost surprisingly so, a stark contrast to the warmth of your skin. The sensation is instantly refreshing, a small moment of pure delight. You might even splash a little water onto your face, feeling the tiny droplets evaporate and leave a lingering coolness. The sound of the water is incredibly soothing. If there's a small fountain, you might hear a gentle trickle or splash, a rhythmic sound that adds to the tranquility of the room. If it's a still pool, the silence is profound, broken only by the occasional soft ripple on the surface. It's a soundscape of calm, designed to soothe the senses and encourage relaxation. Imagine trying to relax to the hum of your modern air conditioner. This is far more peaceful, isn't it? One quirky tidbit about these indoor water features is that they were sometimes stocked with small, ornamental fish or aquatic plants. This wasn't just for aesthetic appeal. The plants would have contributed to the humidity and oxygen levels, and the fish would have helped keep the water clean by consuming algae and insects. Imagine having a living, breathing ecosystem as part of your cooling system. It's a bit like having a very low-maintenance, ancient aquarium that also helps regulate your indoor temperature. You might even spot a tiny, darting fish, a flash of silver in the clear water, adding a touch of unexpected life to the serene space. You recline on a woven mat beside the pool, feeling the cool, humid air wash over you. The scent of damp earth and fresh water fills your nostrils, a clean, invigorating aroma. You close your eyes, letting your mind drift, the gentle coolness seeping into your skin, easing any lingering tension. It's a feeling of profound calm, a complete surrender to the soothing power of water. You might even find yourself drifting off, lulled by the gentle coolness and the profound peace. Historians still argue whether these indoor water features were primarily for cooling, or if they also served a symbolic or ritualistic purpose, given the importance of water in Mesopotamian religious beliefs. While their practical cooling benefits are undeniable, the aesthetic beauty and the sacred connotations of water in ancient cultures suggest a deeper significance. Was it a functional appliance or a sacred space? The truth, as always, is likely a blend of both, reflecting the holistic worldview of the Mesopotamians. You notice the subtle interplay of light and shadow on the water's surface, creating shimmering patterns that dance across the walls. The light is soft, diffused, creating a serene, almost ethereal glow. It's a visual feast, even as your body adjusts to the cool, humid air. The Romans, with their grand baths, certainly understood the power of water, but the Mesopotamians integrated it into their homes in a more intimate, subtle way. The presence of these indoor water features meant that even during the hottest parts of the day, a Mesopotamian home could offer a refuge of surprising comfort. It was a testament to their ingenuity, their ability to harness natural phenomena to create livable spaces in a challenging environment. You feel a deep sense of appreciation for this ancient wisdom, a reminder that sometimes the simplest solutions are the most effective. You might observe a family member, perhaps a child, playfully dipping their toes in the cool water, their laughter hushed and gentle. Or an older woman, sitting quietly by the pool, her hands resting peacefully in her lap, finding solace in the cool, tranquil atmosphere. It's a space for quiet contemplation, for gentle interaction, and for simply being present in the moment. The feeling of the evaporative chill is subtle, not the aggressive blast of a modern air conditioner, but a gentle, continuous coolness that permeates the air. It's a constant source of relief, a quiet hum of comfort that makes the oppressive heat outside seem like a distant memory. You feel your body completely relaxed, your mind clear, and a profound sense of well-being settling over you. It's a truly unique experience, a testament to the power of ancient wisdom. As you continue to relax by the indoor pool, you feel a sense of profound peace. The water, the cool air, the gentle sounds, all combine to create a sanctuary of serenity. You are utterly at ease, your body and mind completely soothed. The Mesopotamians truly understood how to live in harmony with their environment, creating homes that were not just shelters, but havens of comfort and calm. You are now ready to drift off, carrying with you the tranquility of this ancient, water-cooled world. Having experienced the refreshing coolness of indoor water features, you now feel a gentle pull upwards, towards another ingenious Mesopotamian solution for escaping the relentless sun, the roof garden. You ascend a set of external stairs, perhaps made of the same sturdy mud brick or a simple wooden ladder, and emerge onto the flat rooftop of the house. The immediate sensation is one of openness, a vast expanse of sky above, but here, a surprising oasis awaits. Instead of a bare, sun-baked surface, you find a lush, vibrant garden thriving on the rooftop. Terracotta pots of various sizes are arranged meticulously, overflowing with green plants, some with delicate blossoms, others with broad, shade-giving leaves. Small, carefully constructed raised beds might hold herbs or even small fruit trees. It's a startling contrast to the dusty streets below, a verdant sanctuary suspended between earth and sky. The presence of roof gardens in ancient Mesopotamian homes, particularly in larger or wealthier dwellings, is a mainstream historical fact. They served multiple purposes, providing shade, contributing to evaporative cooling, and offering a source of fresh produce and aesthetic beauty. Imagine your modern rooftop patio, but instead of just a grill and some chairs, it's a full-blown, functional garden that actively helps cool your house. It's a brilliant example of multifunctional design, isn't it? As you step onto the rooftop, you immediately feel the difference in temperature. The dense foliage of the plants creates a natural canopy, blocking the direct sunlight and casting deep, inviting shadows. The air here feels cooler, fresher, and carries the delightful scent of damp earth and blooming flowers, a welcome change from the dry, dusty air of the streets. You might even hear the gentle buzz of bees, drawn to the blossoms, adding a subtle, soothing hum to the atmosphere. You wander among the potted plants, admiring the vibrant greenery. Some plants might be familiar, like date palms or fig trees in miniature, while others are exotic, their leaves and flowers a testament to the Mesopotamians' agricultural prowess. The pots themselves are often simple, unadorned terracotta, but their arrangement creates a pleasing visual rhythm, a sense of order and tranquility. It's a testament to their appreciation for beauty, even in a utilitarian space. One quirky tidbit about these roof gardens is that they sometimes incorporated small, intricate irrigation channels, fed by water drawn from wells or collected rainwater. These channels would gently trickle water through the garden, ensuring the plants remained hydrated and contributing to the evaporative cooling effect. Imagine a miniature, self-sustaining ecosystem on your roof, constantly working to keep you cool. It's a bit like having a very low-tech, very beautiful sprinkler system that also helps with your energy bill. You might even hear the faint, soothing sound of trickling water, a gentle counterpoint to the stillness. You find a comfortable spot on a low stone bench, nestled under the shade of a particularly leafy plant. As you sit, you feel the cool air circulating around you, a gentle breeze that seems to be born from the garden itself. The sunlight filters through the leaves, creating dappled patterns on the ground, a play of light and shadow that is both mesmerizing and calming. It's a perfect place for quiet contemplation, for simply being present in the moment, surrounded by nature's beauty. Historians still argue whether the primary motivation for creating roof gardens was purely for climate control and food production, or if they also held significant symbolic or spiritual meaning, perhaps connecting the home to the heavens or representing a miniature paradise. While their practical benefits are undeniable, the effort and resources required to maintain such gardens suggest a deeper cultural significance. Was it a practical necessity, or a spiritual sanctuary? The truth, as always, is likely a blend of both, reflecting the holistic worldview of the Mesopotamians. You might observe a family member, perhaps a child, tending to the plants, carefully watering a pot with a small clay jug. Or an older woman, gently pruning a leafy branch, her movements slow and deliberate. The roof garden was often a communal space, a place where families could gather, work, and relax together, enjoying the cool air and the beauty of nature. It's a testament to the importance of family and community in Mesopotamian life. The view from the rooftop is expansive. You can see the flat, sun-baked rooftops of neighboring houses, some with their own smaller gardens, others with the distinctive shapes of wind catchers. The city stretches out below you, a mosaic of mud brick and shadow, and beyond, the vast, shimmering plain. It's a perspective that offers both a sense of scale and a profound appreciation for the ingenuity that allowed life to flourish in such a challenging environment. The air is filled with the sweet scent of blossoms, a delicate perfume that is both invigorating and calming. You take a deep breath, feeling your lungs expand with the fresh, clean air. The visual beauty of the meticulously maintained plants, the vibrant colors of the flowers, and the gentle sounds of nature all contribute to a profound sense of peace and harmony. It's a feast for the senses, a gentle balm for the soul. As you continue to relax in the cool, verdant oasis of the roof garden, you feel a sense of profound tranquility. The heat of the day seems a distant memory, replaced by the gentle coolness and the soothing presence of nature. You are not just physically comfortable, you are mentally refreshed and spiritually nourished, ready for whatever the Mesopotamian world might throw at you next. It's a truly unique experience, a testament to the ancient wisdom of living in harmony with the environment. Having enjoyed the refreshing coolness of the roof garden, you now descend back into the interior of the Mesopotamian home, but your attention is drawn to another subtle yet crucial element of its climate control, the strategic placement of windows and vents. As you move through the rooms, you notice that while exterior windows are few and small, designed to minimize direct sunlight, there are often higher openings, or carefully placed vents, that play a vital role in managing airflow and keeping the interior calm. You stand in a main living area, perhaps a large, central room that opens onto the courtyard. The light here is soft, diffused, creating a tranquil atmosphere. You look up and notice a series of small, high windows, often just narrow slits or small, square openings, placed near the ceiling. These aren't for viewing the outside world. Their primary purpose is ventilation. They are strategically positioned to catch any prevailing breezes that might be moving above the stagnant air at ground level, drawing them into the house. This strategic placement of high windows and vents for cross-ventilation is a mainstream historical fact, a fundamental principle of passive cooling in Mesopotamian architecture. By allowing hot, rising air to escape through these upper openings, and drawing in cooler air from shaded courtyards or wind catchers, a continuous, gentle airflow was maintained throughout the home. It's like having a natural exhaust fan and intake system, working silently and efficiently to keep the air moving and fresh. Your modern ceiling fan might circulate air, but this ancient method actually exchanges it. As you observe, you might feel a subtle, almost imperceptible current of air moving through the room. It's not a strong draft, but a gentle, continuous flow that prevents the air from becoming stale or oppressive. This constant, subtle movement of air contributes significantly to the feeling of coolness and comfort, even when the outside temperatures are soaring. It's a testament to the Mesopotamians' understanding of air dynamics and their ability to harness natural forces for their benefit. One quirky tidbit about these high vents is that they were sometimes fitted with simple, removable screens made of woven reeds or coarse fabric. These screens would have served a dual purpose, keeping out insects, which were undoubtedly a nuisance in ancient Mesopotamia, and also filtering out dust from the dry, windy environment. Imagine a primitive fly screen that also acts as an air filter. It's a small detail, but it speaks volumes about their practical approach to daily comfort and hygiene. You might even see a few tiny, dried insects caught in the weave of an old screen, a testament to its effectiveness. You notice how the light filters through these high openings, creating soft, shifting patterns on the mud brick walls. The light is never harsh or direct, always diffused, contributing to the serene, almost meditative atmosphere of the interior. It's a space designed for quiet contemplation and rest, where the senses are soothed rather than assaulted. The dimness also helps the eyes adjust after the bright glare of the outside world, making the transition more comfortable. Historians still argue whether the primary design consideration for these high openings was purely for ventilation, or if they also served a symbolic purpose, perhaps connecting the interior of the home to the heavens or allowing the spirits of ancestors to pass freely. While their practical function is clear, the spiritual significance of architectural elements in ancient cultures often ran deep. Was it just a vent or a portal? The debate continues, but the fresh air is undeniable. You might observe a family member, perhaps an older woman, sitting quietly on a mat beneath one of these vents, enjoying the gentle airflow. Her face is serene, her breathing slow and even, a picture of profound relaxation. The strategic placement of these openings meant that even in the hottest parts of the day, there was always a spot in the house where one could find a measure of comfort and coolness. The sounds in the room are muted, softened by the thick mud brick walls. The gentle rustle of air through the vents, the distant murmur of voices from other parts of the house, and the occasional soft clink of pottery are the only sounds. It's a soundscape of tranquility, designed to promote rest and quiet activity. You feel a sense of profound peace settling over you, a quiet contentment that comes from being in a space so perfectly attuned to its surroundings. The ingenuity of these simple yet effective ventilation strategies is truly remarkable. Without complex machinery or external power, the Mesopotamians created homes that were naturally cool and comfortable, even in the face of extreme heat. It's a testament to their deep understanding of their environment and their ability to work with nature's forces to create livable spaces. You feel a sense of quiet admiration for the ancient minds that conceived of such elegant solutions. As you continue to relax in the gentle airflow, you realize that every element of this Mesopotamian home, from its thick mud brick walls to its central courtyard, its wind catchers, and now its strategic ventilation, works in harmony to create a sanctuary of calm. It's a holistic approach to comfort, a testament to a civilization that understood the importance of living in balance with its environment. You are not just physically comfortable, you are mentally refreshed and spiritually nourished, ready for whatever the Mesopotamian world might throw at you next. Having experienced the ingenious architectural solutions for cooling, you now find yourself observing a different, yet equally vital, Mesopotamian strategy for coping with the relentless heat, the rhythm of daily life itself. As the sun climbs higher, casting its most oppressive glare, you notice a palpable shift in the city's activity. The bustling energy of the early morning begins to wane, replaced by a profound stillness, a collective slowing down. This is the time for the midday siesta, a crucial part of staying cool and calm in ancient Mesopotamia. You see people retreating indoors, seeking the deep shade of their mud-brick homes or the cool embrace of their courtyards. The narrow streets, once alive with vendors and passers-by, become eerily quiet, almost deserted. The sounds of daily commerce fade, replaced by a hushed silence that speaks of widespread rest. It's as if the entire city collectively decides, "Okay, son, you win this round. We'll be back later." This widespread practice of a midday rest or siesta is a mainstream historical fact, a fundamental adaptation to life in hot climates across many ancient cultures. It wasn't a luxury, it was a necessity for survival and productivity. Imagine if your entire country just collectively decided to take a nap every afternoon. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? You find yourself in a cool, dim room, perhaps lying on a woven mat on the packed earth floor. The air is still but not stagnant, imbued with the subtle coolness drawn in by the wind catchers and thick walls. Your body, which might have felt a subtle tension from the morning's heat, now begins to completely relax. Your breathing deepens and your eyelids feel heavy, a natural response to the profound sense of peace that settles over you. As you drift, you might hear the soft, rhythmic breathing of others in the house, perhaps a child sleeping soundly in a nearby corner, or an elderly family member murmuring softly in their sleep. These are the sounds of collective rest, a gentle lullaby that reinforces the wisdom of this midday pause. The world outside, with its scorching sun and demanding tasks, seems very far away indeed. One quirky tidbit about the siesta is that it wasn't just for sleeping. For many, it was a time for quiet contemplation, for reading scrolls, for engaging in hushed conversations, or for simply enjoying a cool drink. It was a period of enforced leisure, a time to recharge both body and mind. Imagine a mandatory, quiet time in the middle of your workday, where everyone just stops and relaxes. It's a concept that modern productivity gurus might scoff at, but the Mesopotamians knew its true value. You might even see someone quietly playing a board game, their movements slow and deliberate, enjoying the calm. You feel the deep relaxation of the siesta seeping into every fiber of your being. The lethargy induced by the heat is replaced by a profound sense of calm, a quiet energy that is restorative rather than invigorating. It's a different kind of rest than nighttime sleep. It's a pause, a reset button for the middle of the day, allowing you to emerge refreshed and ready for the cooler hours of the late afternoon and evening. Historians still argue whether the siesta was primarily a cultural tradition that evolved organically, or if it was a more deliberate, almost prescriptive, practice enforced by the demands of the climate. While it certainly became a deeply ingrained part of their culture, the physiological benefits of avoiding the midday sun are so profound that it's hard to imagine it wasn't a conscious adaptation for survival. Was it a choice or a necessity? The truth is likely a blend of both. A cultural practice born of environmental wisdom. As you lie there, you notice the subtle shift in light as the sun slowly moves across the sky. The dimness of the room remains, but the quality of the light might change, becoming softer, more golden, as the afternoon progresses. It's a gentle reminder that time is passing, but without any sense of urgency. The rhythm of the siesta is a timeless one, a testament to humanity's ability to adapt to its environment. You might even find yourself dreaming, a light, pleasant dream, perhaps of cool rivers or lush gardens. The sleep is not deep or heavy, but a light, restorative slumber that leaves you feeling surprisingly alert upon waking. It's a testament to the power of a well-timed nap, a concept that the Mesopotamians clearly understood millennia ago. The silence of the siesta is profound, a stark contrast to the bustling world outside. It's a time for introspection, for quiet reflection, for simply being present in the moment. You feel a sense of profound peace settling over you, a quiet contentment that comes from being in harmony with the natural rhythms of the day. It's a reminder that sometimes, the most productive thing you can do is simply stop and rest. As you slowly begin to stir, feeling the gentle return of awareness, you realize the wisdom of this ancient practice. The midday siesta is more than just a nap. It's a fundamental part of Mesopotamian life, a crucial strategy for maintaining comfort and calm in a world of extreme heat. You feel utterly refreshed, your mind clear, and your body ready to re-engage with the world, but at a more measured, deliberate pace. The sun may still be shining, but its power feels diminished, its intensity softened by the collective wisdom of a civilization that knew how to truly relax. Having emerged from the restorative calm of the midday siesta, feeling refreshed and ready to re-engage with the world, your attention might now turn to another subtle yet significant aspect of Mesopotamian comfort, their clothing. As you move through the home or step back into the shaded streets, you notice that everyone, from the humblest laborer to the most distinguished citizen, wears garments that are remarkably similar in their fundamental design. Light, loose-fitting, and made from breathable fabrics. You observe a man in a simple, unadorned tunic, perhaps made of undyed linen or wool, its fabric thin and airy. It hangs loosely from his shoulders, allowing for maximum airflow around his body. A woman might wear a flowing dress, also made of light linen, its folds creating natural ventilation as she moves. Children are clad in even simpler garments, often just a single piece of cloth wrapped around their bodies. There are no tight-fitting clothes here, no heavy layers, no restrictive garments that would trap heat against the skin. This preference for light, loose-fitting, and breathable clothing is a mainstream historical fact, a practical adaptation to the hot Mesopotamian climate. Unlike the heavy, elaborate togas of Rome or the multi-layered garments of colder climates, Mesopotamian attire was designed for maximum comfort and heat dissipation. It wasn't just a fashion choice, it was a survival strategy, allowing the body to naturally cool itself through evaporation of sweat. Imagine trying to wear a three-piece suit in Boghara, Bangladesh, in the middle of summer. You'd melt. The Mesopotamians understood this instinctively. As you feel the light fabric of your own borrowed tunic against your skin, you appreciate its comfort. It doesn't cling or restrict, allowing the air to circulate freely. Even a subtle breeze, perhaps from a wind catcher or a passing person, feels refreshing as it moves across your skin. The colors are often natural and muted, earthy browns, undyed whites, soft blues from indigo, or warm yellows from saffron, reflecting the natural dyes available and perhaps also helping to reflect sunlight rather than absorb it. One quirky tidbit about Mesopotamian clothing is that while the basic design was simple, variations in fabric quality, ornamentation, and the way garments were draped could still signal social status. A wealthy individual might wear a tunic made of finer, more intricately woven linen, perhaps with subtle embroidery or a delicate fringe, even if the overall cut remained loose. Imagine a designer version of a simple t-shirt, same basic shape, but the fabric and details scream expensive. So, even in their pursuit of comfort, a little bit of ancient fashion statement was still possible. You notice that head coverings are common, especially for those venturing out into the sun. Simple wraps of linen or wool provide shade for the head and neck, protecting against sunstroke. These aren't elaborate hats, but practical, easily adjustable pieces of fabric that offer crucial protection. It's a reminder that even the simplest accessories were designed with climate in mind. Historians still argue whether the simplicity of Mesopotamian clothing was primarily a result of limited textile technology, or if it was a deliberate choice driven by the demands of the climate and a cultural preference for practicality over ostentation. While their weaving techniques were certainly advanced for their time, the consistent emphasis on loose, breathable garments suggests that comfort in the heat was a paramount concern, perhaps even more so than elaborate display. Was it the limitation or a liberation? The truth is likely a blend of both. You observe how effortlessly people move in their light garments. There's no stiffness, no awkwardness. Their clothing flows with their bodies, allowing for freedom of movement. It's a testament to the wisdom of designing clothing that works with the environment rather than fighting against it. You might even feel a subtle sense of liberation yourself, unburdened by the heavy, restrictive clothing of your own time. The feeling of the breathable fabric against your skin is incredibly comforting. It allows your body to regulate its temperature naturally, preventing overheating and promoting a sense of ease. You might even find yourself unconsciously adjusting the folds of your tunic, allowing more air to circulate, a small, instinctive movement that speaks to the timeless human need for comfort in the heat. The overall impression of Mesopotamian clothing is one of understated elegance and profound practicality. It's a reminder that sometimes less is truly more, especially when it comes to staying cool. Their garments were not just coverings. They were an integral part of their climate control strategy, a testament to their deep understanding of how to live in harmony with their environment. You feel a sense of quiet admiration for their simple yet effective solutions. As you continue your journey through the ancient city, you'll carry with you the image of these light, flowing garments, a symbol of a civilization that knew how to dress for comfort, even in the most challenging climates. You feel a profound sense of peace, knowing that every aspect of their lives, from their homes to their clothing, was designed to promote calm and well-being. You are now ready to drift off, carrying with you the tranquility of this ancient, comfortably clad world. Having felt the comforting embrace of loose, breathable clothing, your attention now shifts, perhaps prompted by a subtle rumble from your own stomach, to another crucial aspect of staying cool and calm in ancient Mesopotamia: what they ate and drank. As the sun begins its slow descent, or perhaps during a quiet moment in the shaded courtyard, you notice the simple, yet effective, culinary strategies employed to combat the relentless heat. This isn't about elaborate feasts, it's about sustenance designed for survival and comfort. You see a small, low table, perhaps a woven mat on the cool floor, laden with simple provisions. There are plump, sticky dates, their dark skins glistening, and dried figs, sweet and chewy. These fruits, abundant in the Fertile Crescent, were not just delicious, they were vital sources of energy and hydration. Imagine trying to eat a heavy, hot meal in the kind of heat you've experienced today. It just wouldn't work, would it? The Mesopotamians understood this instinctively, favoring foods that were easy to digest and provided natural sugars and moisture. This reliance on dates and figs as staple, cooling foods is a mainstream historical fact, crucial for energy and hydration in their hot climate. They were the ancient equivalent of your modern energy bar, but far more natural and, let's be honest, probably tastier. You pick up a date, feeling its soft, yielding texture. As you bite into it, a burst of concentrated sweetness fills your mouth, followed by a subtle, earthy flavor. It's surprisingly refreshing, a quick burst of energy that doesn't weigh you down. You might even find yourself reaching for another and another. It's easy to see why these were so popular. They were the perfect snack for a hot day, providing sustenance without adding to your internal heat. Beyond the fruits, you might see flatbreads, simple and unleavened, perhaps made from barley or emmer wheat. These would be eaten in smaller portions during the day, often dipped in olive oil or accompanied by a handful of nuts. The emphasis was on lighter meals, avoiding anything that would require extensive cooking or heavy digestion during the peak heat. No massive roasts or bubbling stews at midday, those were for the cooler evenings. It's a bit like how you might crave a light salad or fruit in bogra during the summer, rather than a heavy biryani. Now for the drinks. Water, of course, was paramount. You see large clay jars, often porous, allowing a small amount of water to evaporate from their surface, subtly cooling the remaining liquid inside. You might take a sip from a communal jug, the water cool and clean, instantly quenching your thirst. But beyond water, the Mesopotamians had another staple beverage, kash, or barley beer. This wasn't the strong, intoxicating beer you might think of today. Ancient Mesopotamian beer was often thick, murky, and low in alcohol, more like a liquid bread or a nutritious gruel. It was a primary source of calories and vitamins, especially for the working classes, and was consumed by men, women, and children alike. Imagine your morning smoothie being a barley beer. It sounds a bit odd, doesn't it? But it was a vital part of their diet, providing hydration and sustenance in a form that was both palatable and practical. One quirky tidbit about cash is that it was often drunk through straws, not just for etiquette, but to avoid the bits of barley sediment that would settle at the bottom. So, they were essentially drinking ancient, unfiltered, nutritious smoothies with a straw. Who knew they were so ahead of their time with the smoothie trend? You might also encounter pasca, a refreshing drink made from water and vinegar, sometimes flavored with herbs. It sounds tart, doesn't it? Like a very aggressive lemonade. But the acidity of the vinegar would have been incredibly thirst-quenching and invigorating in the heat, much like a modern sports drink, but without the artificial colors and flavors. You might eye it with a bit of suspicion, wondering if it's an acquired taste, like that fermented fish sauce, garum, that Romans seem to love. But after a long, hot day, its sharp tang might be exactly what your body craves. Dairy products also played a role. You might see small bowls of yogurt or soft cheese, made from goat or sheep milk. These fermented dairy products were not only nutritious but also had a cooling effect on the body, much like how a cool glass of lassi might feel refreshing in the heat of Bogra. They were easily digestible and provided essential fats and proteins without being too heavy. Historians still argue whether the Mesopotamian diet was consciously designed with specific cooling properties in mind, or if their food choices were primarily dictated by what was readily available and preserved well in the hot climate, with the cooling benefits being a happy coincidence. Did they have a sophisticated understanding of thermoregulation through diet, or did they simply eat what worked best for survival? While the practical benefits are clear, the precise level of scientific intent behind their culinary choices remains an open scholarly debate. Was it ancient nutrition science, or just good common sense? You notice the absence of certain modern cooling foods. There's no ice cream, no chilled sodas, no refrigerated anything. Their cooling methods were entirely passive, relying on natural processes and the inherent properties of their food and drink. It's a reminder of how much we rely on technology for comfort today, while the ancients mastered the art of living in harmony with their environment. The rhythm of eating was also adapted to the heat. Lighter meals during the day, perhaps a more substantial meal in the cooler evenings. It was a way to conserve energy and avoid taxing the digestive system when the body was already working hard to stay cool. This mindful approach to eating, dictated by the climate, is a testament to their deep connection with their environment. You might see a group of friends sharing a jug of cash, their voices low and contented, the shared act of refreshment fostering camaraderie. The social aspect of food and drink was just as important as its nutritional value, providing moments of shared comfort and connection in the challenging heat. It's a reminder that even the simplest meals can be profound experiences when shared. And finally, a subtle but important detail: salt. With all that sweating, the Mesopotamians would have lost significant amounts of electrolytes. Their diet, rich in naturally salty foods like dried fish or salted meats, when available, and the use of salt in their cooking would have helped replenish these vital minerals. It's a testament to their intuitive understanding of their body's needs in such an extreme climate. As you finish your dates and water, you feel a renewed sense of energy, a gentle boost that complements the deep relaxation you've already achieved. The simple act of nourishing your body in this serene environment adds another layer to the overall feeling of contentment. You're not just clean, you're fed, hydrated, and utterly at peace. The Mesopotamian home truly caters to every need, from the physical to the social, and even the culinary, all designed to keep you cool and calm. Having savored the cooling foods and refreshing drinks of ancient Mesopotamia, your journey through the home now takes a downward turn, quite literally. You notice a heavy wooden trapdoor or a narrow, unadorned staircase leading down from a central room or courtyard. A subtle waft of cool, damp air rises from below, a stark and inviting contrast to the ambient warmth of the upper levels. This is the entrance to the subterranean sanctuaries, the cool cellars and underground spaces that offered the ultimate refuge from the relentless Mesopotamian sun. You descend the steps, feeling the temperature drop with each step. The light quickly fades, replaced by a profound dimness, perhaps illuminated only by a small, flickering oil lamp carried by an attendant, or a sliver of light from the opening above. The air here is still, heavy, and wonderfully cool, carrying the earthy scent of damp soil and stored goods. It's like stepping into a natural refrigerator, a deep, cool embrace that instantly soothes your sun-warmed skin. The construction of these subterranean cellars and underground rooms is a mainstream historical fact, a common feature in Mesopotamian homes and public buildings, particularly in regions with extreme summer heat. These spaces were not just for storage, they were crucial for human comfort, providing a consistent, low temperature that was unaffected by the scorching surface heat. Imagine your modern basement, but instead of just storing old boxes, it's your primary escape from a 50°C day. It's a brilliant, low-tech solution, isn't it? As you reach the bottom, you find yourself in a spacious, often vaulted chamber. The walls are made of packed earth or rough-hewn stone, cool and solid to the touch. The floor is typically bare earth, which feels wonderfully cool beneath your feet. The silence here is profound, broken only by the soft drip of condensation from the ceiling or the gentle rustle of stored grains in large clay jars. It's a place of deep quiet, a sanctuary from both the heat and the noise of the world above. You might see large clay storage jars, some as tall as a man, filled with grains, dried fruits, or even water. The consistent cool temperature of the cellar was ideal for preserving food, keeping it fresh for longer periods without spoilage. This dual function, food preservation and human comfort, made these subterranean spaces incredibly valuable. It's a bit like having a walk-in pantry that also doubles as your personal cool-down zone. You might even spot a wicker basket filled with fresh produce, looking remarkably crisp despite the heat outside. One quirky tidbit about these cellars is that some wealthier homes might have had multiple levels of subterranean rooms, each offering a slightly different temperature or serving a specific purpose. Imagine a multi-story underground complex, with different chambers for sleeping, dining, or even quiet contemplation, all designed to maximize coolness. It's a level of underground living that makes your modern basement apartment look positively mundane. You might even hear a faint, distant echo from a lower level, hinting at further hidden depths. You find a spot on a low, cool stone bench, or perhaps a simple mat laid directly on the earth floor. As you recline, you feel the deep, pervasive coolness seep into your bones, drawing out any lingering heat from your body. Your breathing slows, your muscles completely relax, and a profound sense of calm washes over you. It's a feeling of complete surrender to the cool embrace of the earth, a truly restorative experience. Historians still argue whether the construction of these subterranean spaces was primarily driven by the need for food storage and preservation, or if human comfort was an equally, if not more, important consideration. While their utility for storage is clear, the significant effort required to excavate and maintain such large underground chambers suggests that the desire for a cool refuge was a powerful motivator. Was it a pantry, or a panic room for heat? The truth is likely a blend of both, adapting to the specific needs of the household and the severity of the climate. The light here is minimal, creating a sense of intimacy and enclosure. It's a space where the outside world feels very far away, a hidden sanctuary where time seems to slow down. You might see a few other family members, perhaps an elderly relative or a young child, also seeking refuge in the cool depths, their faces serene in the dim light. There's a shared understanding in this space, a silent camaraderie among those who seek respite from the sun's relentless assault. The air, though still, feels incredibly fresh and clean, devoid of the dust and heat of the surface. You might even detect a faint, earthy aroma, a natural scent that is both grounding and calming. It's a sensory experience that speaks of deep connection to the earth, a reminder that sometimes the best solutions are found by going back to basics. The ingenuity of these subterranean sanctuaries is truly remarkable. Without complex machinery or external power, the Mesopotamians created spaces that were naturally cool and comfortable, even in the face of extreme heat. It's a testament to their deep understanding of their environment and their ability to work with nature's forces to create livable spaces. You feel a sense of quiet admiration for the ancient minds that conceived of such elegant solutions. As you continue to relax in the cool depths, you realize that these cellars are more than just rooms. They are a testament to human resilience and adaptability. They are a symbol of a civilization that understood the importance of finding refuge, of creating havens of calm in a challenging world. You are not just physically comfortable, you are mentally refreshed and spiritually nourished, ready for whatever the Mesopotamian world might throw at you next. You are utterly at ease, your body and mind completely soothed, ready to drift off, carrying with you the tranquility of this ancient, earth-cooled world. Having experienced the profound, almost silent coolness of the private subterranean cellar, you now ascend back into the more public realm of the Mesopotamian city. As you emerge, you notice that the ingenuity for staying cool isn't confined to individual homes. The very fabric of the city itself, its public squares and communal gathering points, are also designed with collective comfort in mind. You find yourself in a large, open square, but unlike the sun-baked plain outside the city walls, this space offers a surprising degree of respite. The square is vast, paved with packed earth or simple, large flagstones, and surrounded by public buildings, perhaps a temple, an administrative office, or a large granary. What makes it comfortable, even under the Mesopotamian sun, is the strategic placement of shade. Tall, thick-walled buildings cast long, deep shadows across much of the square for significant portions of the day. You might also see large, ancient trees, perhaps date palms or sycamores, their broad canopies providing natural, dappled shade. It's a testament to urban planning that prioritizes human comfort over grand, sun-drenched vistas. This deliberate creation of shaded public squares and communal gathering areas is a mainstream historical fact, crucial for the social and economic life of Mesopotamian cities in a hot climate. These weren't just places for official ceremonies, they were vital social hubs where people could gather, conduct business, and simply exist during the hottest parts of the day without succumbing to heatstroke. Imagine your local town square in Bogra, but instead of just a few benches, it's designed like a giant, open-air, naturally cooled lounge. It's a brilliant example of how public spaces can be designed to be truly livable, even in extreme conditions. As you walk across the shaded parts of the square, the ground feels cool beneath your sandals, a welcome sensation. The air, while still warm, feels less oppressive than the open plain, subtly stirred by the gentle breezes that find their way through the city's narrow streets and into this larger space. You hear a low hum of activity, the murmur of conversations, the distant bleating of animals, the occasional clink of pottery from a nearby stall. It's a lively atmosphere, yet one that maintains a sense of calm, a rhythm dictated by the need to conserve energy in the heat. You see groups of people gathered in the deepest pockets of shade. Merchants, perhaps in simple russet tunics, are discussing prices over small piles of grain or bundles of textiles, their voices low and unhurried. Scribes, in saffron robes, might be sitting on low stools, meticulously recording transactions on clay tablets, their work continuing even in the heat, albeit at a more measured pace. Children play quietly in the shade, their laughter soft, their movements less boisterous than they might be in the cooler hours. It's a scene of communal life, adapted to the demands of the climate. One quirky tidbit you might observe is the presence of communal water points or large, shared water jars strategically placed in these public squares. These weren't just for drinking. The constant drawing and spilling of water would have contributed to a subtle evaporative cooling effect in the immediate vicinity. Imagine a public fountain that also acts as a giant, ancient air conditioner for everyone around it. You might see people filling their personal water skins, or simply splashing a little water on their faces and arms, finding instant, fleeting relief. These water points were not just practical necessities, they were social magnets, drawing people together in their shared pursuit of coolness. You notice the subtle scent of damp earth and fresh water mingling with the dry, earthy smell of the square. It's a clean, refreshing aroma that speaks of life and sustenance in a challenging environment. The light, though bright above, is diffused and softened by the shade, creating a pleasant visual environment that doesn't strain the eyes. It's a space designed to soothe all the senses, not just the body. Historians still argue whether the primary purpose of these large public squares was for civic and religious ceremonies, or if their function as communal cooling spaces was equally, if not more, important in their daily use. While grand rituals certainly took place, the consistent evidence of daily life and commerce occurring within their shaded confines suggests that their practical utility for comfort was paramount. Was it a stage for power, or a refuge for the people? The truth is likely a blend of both, adapting to the specific needs of the community. You might observe a group of elders, their faces etched with wisdom, sitting quietly in the shade, perhaps sharing stories or offering advice to younger generations. Their presence adds a sense of gravitas and continuity to the space, a reminder that these communal areas were not just for fleeting interactions, but for the enduring fabric of society. They are the living embodiment of ancient wisdom, patiently enduring the heat. The sheer scale of some of these public squares meant that they could accommodate large numbers of people, fostering a sense of community and shared experience. Even in the heat, people were not isolated. They were connected, finding comfort and camaraderie in these shared spaces. It's a testament to the Mesopotamians' understanding of human social needs, even when faced with environmental challenges. You might see a small, temporary awning made of woven reeds or palm fronds, erected by a vendor to extend their shaded selling area. These simple, movable structures further demonstrate the adaptive nature of Mesopotamian life, constantly seeking ways to maximize comfort in the face of the sun. It's a bit like those temporary shade structures you see at outdoor markets in Bogra, but made with ancient materials and a timeless purpose. The overall impression of these communal cooling spaces is one of quiet resilience and collective ingenuity. They are not grand or imposing in the way of some Roman structures, but they are incredibly effective at providing comfort and fostering community. They are a testament to the Mesopotamians' ability to adapt, to innovate, and to create livable spaces, not just within their homes, but across the entire urban landscape. You feel a sense of profound calm settling over you, a quiet appreciation for the simple yet profound wisdom embedded in the very fabric of this ancient city. You are no longer just observing, you are experiencing a masterclass in communal passive cooling, one shaded step at a time. Having experienced the collective comfort of the public squares, your journey through Mesopotamian ingenuity now leads you to a different kind of sanctuary, one that offers not just physical coolness, but also a profound sense of spiritual calm, the temple. You approach a towering ziggurat, its massive mud brick terraces rising majestically towards the sky, or perhaps a smaller, more intimate temple dedicated to a local deity. The air around it feels different, imbued with a sense of reverence and stillness that seems to transcend the heat. You step through a grand, often recessed, entrance, and immediately, the temperature drops. The thick, solid mud brick walls of the temple, even more massive than those of private homes, create an incredibly insulated interior. The light inside is dim, diffused, filtering through high, narrow slits or carefully placed openings, creating long, dramatic shadows that stretch across the cool, packed earth floor. It's a space designed for introspection, for quiet devotion, and for profound physical relief from the scorching sun. The construction of temples with massive, insulating walls and limited openings to maintain a cool interior is a mainstream historical fact, a deliberate design choice that served both religious and practical purposes. While their primary function was spiritual, their inherent coolness made them natural refuges during the hottest parts of the day, offering comfort to worshippers and priests alike. Imagine your local mosque or temple in Bogra, but built with walls so thick they naturally stay cool, even without electricity. It's a testament to how deeply integrated climate control was into all aspects of Mesopotamian life, even the sacred. As you move deeper into the temple, the silence is almost absolute, broken only by the soft echo of your own footsteps, or the hushed murmur of a priest performing a ritual in a distant chamber. The air is still, heavy with the scent of incense, dry earth, and perhaps the faint, metallic tang of ancient offerings. It's a sensory experience that is both grounding and ethereal, designed to transport you to a different state of mind. You might see a lone worshiper, kneeling in quiet prayer on a cool mat, their body still and serene, finding solace in the temple's cool embrace. Priests, in their ceremonial robes, move with slow, deliberate grace, their movements unhurried, reflecting the timeless rhythm of the sacred space. The atmosphere is one of profound peace, a sanctuary where the relentless demands of the outside world and its oppressive heat simply cease to exist. One quirky tidbit about Mesopotamian temples is that some of them incorporated subterranean chambers or crypts, not just for burials or storage, but also as additional cool retreats for priests or for storing sacred texts and artifacts that needed protection from heat and humidity. Imagine a secret, underground library within a temple, always cool and dry, preserving ancient knowledge. It's a fascinating blend of the sacred and the practical, a testament to their foresight. You might even feel a subtle draft from a hidden passage, hinting at these deeper, cooler levels. The architectural details within the temple are often simple yet powerful. The mud brick walls, though unadorned, rise to impressive heights, creating a sense of awe and grandeur. Niches might hold small statues of deities or offerings, illuminated by the soft, diffused light. The sheer scale of the construction speaks of immense devotion and collective effort, a monument to their gods and their ingenuity. Historians still argue whether the primary design driver for the massive scale and insulating properties of Mesopotamian temples was purely for religious symbolism and monumental grandeur, or if their inherent coolness was a significant practical benefit that influenced their construction. While their spiritual significance is undeniable, the comfort they provided would have made them highly desirable gathering places, especially during the summer. Was it divine inspiration or practical necessity? The truth is likely a blend of both, reflecting the holistic worldview of the Mesopotamians. You find a quiet spot against a cool, solid wall and lean back, feeling the deep coolness seep into your body. The heat from outside seems to drain away, replaced by a profound sense of calm. Your mind, which might have been racing with the day's concerns, now feels clear and still, almost meditative. It's a space that encourages introspection, a quiet communion with something larger than yourself. The sounds within the temple are minimal, often just the soft rustle of robes, the distant murmur of a chant, or the gentle echo of a bell. These sounds are not jarring, they are part of the sacred atmosphere, contributing to the overall sense of peace. It's a soundscape of tranquility, designed to soothe the soul and quiet the mind. The temple, in its essence, is a microcosm of Mesopotamian life, blending the sacred with the practical. It offers not just spiritual solace, but also a tangible, physical refuge from the harsh realities of their environment. It's a testament to their understanding that true well-being encompasses both the body and the spirit, and that comfort can be found even in the most challenging conditions. As you continue to absorb the tranquil aura of the temple, you feel a profound sense of peace settling over you. The heat of the day seems utterly irrelevant here, replaced by a timeless coolness and a deep sense of calm. You are not just physically comfortable, you are mentally refreshed and spiritually nourished, ready for whatever the Mesopotamian world might throw at you next. You are utterly at ease, your body and mind completely soothed, ready to drift off, carrying with you the tranquility of this ancient, sacred, and wonderfully cool world. Having found profound calm within the cool, sacred walls of the temple, your journey through a Mesopotamian day now draws to a close. As the sun dips below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of russet and saffron, a new, subtle coolness begins to creep into the air. The heat of the day, once so oppressive, slowly dissipates, replaced by the gentle embrace of the Mesopotamian night. And with this shift comes the final, most intimate cooling strategy, nighttime rooftop slumber. You ascend the external stairs of a typical Mesopotamian home once more, emerging onto the flat rooftop. The air here is noticeably cooler than it was during the day, a refreshing contrast. The mud brick walls, which absorbed so much heat during the sun's reign, are now slowly radiating that warmth back into the night, but the open sky above allows for rapid cooling. The vast, star-filled expanse stretches above you, a breathtaking canopy of twinkling lights, far clearer than anything you might see in the light-polluted skies of Bogra, Bangladesh. This practice of sleeping on flat rooftops during hot summer nights is a mainstream historical fact, a common and essential adaptation for Mesopotamians. It wasn't just a preference, it was a necessity for comfortable sleep, allowing them to escape the lingering heat trapped within their thick-walled homes. Imagine trying to sleep indoors when your house is still radiating heat from a 50-degree Celsius day. No thank you. The rooftop offered the coolest, most open, and most comfortable sleeping environment. It's the ancient equivalent of camping under the stars, but with the added benefit of being on your own roof. You see simple woven mats laid out on the flat surface, perhaps a few light blankets or sheets. Families are already settling down, their forms silhouetted against the darkening sky. The sounds of the city are now hushed, a gentle murmur that blends with the soft rustle of the night breeze. You might hear the distant cry of a night bird, or the faint, rhythmic chirping of crickets, a natural lullaby that encourages deep relaxation. You find an empty spot, lay down your mat, and recline, feeling the cool night air wash over your skin. The sensation is exquisite, a profound relief after the day's heat. You look up at the stars, countless pinpricks of light against the velvet blackness, and feel a sense of immense peace and connection to the ancient world. It's a truly humbling experience to share this timeless ritual with generations long past. One quirky tidbit about rooftop sleeping is that while it offered comfort, it also came with its own set of challenges. Scorpions, snakes, and other nocturnal creatures were a potential concern, requiring careful inspection of sleeping areas. And, of course, privacy was minimal, making it a truly communal sleeping experience for families. Imagine having to check for scorpions before bed every night. It adds a certain ancient thrill to bedtime, doesn't it? Despite these minor inconveniences, the comfort outweighed the risks. You feel the cool air gently caress your face, carrying the faint, clean scent of the night, perhaps a hint of distant desert flowers or damp earth. Your body, completely relaxed from the day's journey through ancient cooling strategies, now begins to surrender to the profound peace of the night. Your breathing slows, becoming deep and even, and your eyelids feel heavy, so very heavy. Historians still argue whether rooftop sleeping was primarily a practical necessity for comfort, or if it also held a deeper cultural or spiritual significance, perhaps connecting individuals more closely to the cosmos and the divine during their slumber. While its practical benefits are undeniable, the act of sleeping under the vast, star-filled sky might have fostered a sense of awe and spiritual connection. Was it just a cool bed, or a celestial observatory? The truth is likely a blend of both, reflecting the holistic worldview of the Mesopotamians. You might observe a parent gently adjusting a light blanket over a sleeping child, or a couple murmuring softly to each other before drifting off. The shared experience of rooftop slumber fosters a sense of intimacy and family bonding, a quiet end to a long, hot day. It's a testament to the enduring human need for connection and comfort, even in the simplest of settings. The silence of the night is profound, a stark contrast to the bustling city during the day. It's a time for quiet reflection, for letting go of the day's worries, and for simply being present in the moment. You feel a sense of profound peace settling over you, a quiet contentment that comes from being in harmony with the natural rhythms of the earth and sky. It's a reminder that sometimes, the most luxurious comfort comes from the simplest, most natural solutions. As you drift closer to sleep, you feel the lingering warmth from the day slowly dissipate, replaced by a refreshing coolness that permeates your entire being. Your mind is clear, your body is relaxed, and a sense of profound well-being washes over you. The Mesopotamian day, with all its heat and challenges, has been successfully navigated, and you are now utterly at peace, ready for a deep, restorative sleep. The stars above seem to twinkle just for you, a silent, ancient promise of rest. The gentle night breeze whispers secrets of millennia past, carrying with it the wisdom of a civilization that mastered the art of living in harmony with its environment. You are now part of that timeless rhythm, a silent witness to the enduring ingenuity of ancient Mesopotamia. Now, as the echoes of ancient Mesopotamia begin to softly fade, let your mind gently release any lingering thoughts of mud bricks and wind catchers. Feel the coolness that has settled deep within you, a comforting calm that spreads from your toes to the top of your head. Your muscles are loose, your breathing is slow and even, and your eyelids feel heavy, so very heavy. Imagine yourself lying on a cool, flat rooftop under a vast, star-filled sky, the gentle night breeze a soft caress on your skin. There are no worries here, no tasks to complete, just the gentle rhythm of your breath. Let the soft sounds of the night become part of the quiet, a lullaby for your tired mind. Allow yourself to sink deeper, deeper into this peaceful stillness. The day is done, the journey complete. All that remains is the quiet comfort of the present moment, guiding you softly towards a restful, dreamless sleep.